Dynamis Rant.
She's an intergalactic bounty hunter, she warrior.
You never
Alright, hey everybody. Oh, webcam not there. Webcam not there. Also, yeah, got that still going. Let's turn this off. Why is the webcam not there? There I am. Hello. I've got like almost noir lighting if I do this. It's like I'm, hold on. It's like I'm dangerous. Like I'm Batman in Batman Returns. Interesting fun fact that I thought about watching that movie again. I think Batman Returns might actually be the best Batman movie. First of all, that's point number one. Point number two, it might be the only Batman movie that has an actually interesting... I gotta parse this before I say the whole thing. I think Batman Returns' depiction of Catwoman might be the best representation of a woman in any Batman movie. Point two. Point three. When Selena Kyle and Batman meet for the first time, Batman's the one who has the noir stripe across his eyes because he's the femme fatale of the story. Kind of. I don't know. I was thinking about that. How, like, it's a story in which she's inexorably dragged towards ruin, and she feels like she kind of has the same relationship with Batman that the lead detective in a noir story would have with a femme fatale. Sort of like drawn to ruin kind of feeling. Poison Ivy is a perfect woman. So on another kind of level, Uma Thurman in Batman and Robin is the best part of that whole movie. Batman Returns is really fucking good. I don't know if you guys know that. Oh, my heart bar is all moved just a tiny bit. There. Oh, we got a VIP or ban already. Oh, you got it in time. Because I haven't tilted the scales yet. Let's see what happens. Also, I gotta light this candle. There's a lot going on right now. And the lighting in here is so dramatic. Because I have my blinds open. Oh, another VIP. Wow. 3 in a row. I'm a little worried now. I gotta admit it. It counts. It counts, though. It counts. Congratulations. Here's the thing. I'm gonna hit this button a couple times. Cyan, I don't remotely mean to distract from your accomplishment. Congratulations for getting VIP. Thank you for watching the stream. That takes a long time to save up that amount of channel points, and I'm very grateful. But I do feel like I want to hit this button until it rolls a ban. Did I fuck it up again? Because with this one, it's been 5 VIPs in a row. But I can see the scripting language tells me the variables that it's rolling. And it's rolling the same, it's a random 1 or 2, and it keeps rolling 1. She thick! She thick! Also in here with a VIP or ban. I know that you definitely wanted to get it in before the scales got tilted. Alright, so here's the problem, She thick. I just rolled a VIP. And wouldn't it be horrible if this one was a ban? Because that means I used it up. Let's see what happens. Wait. Uh-oh. Is it not finished? Oh, maybe I wasn't clicked on it on time. Well, believe it or not, it did roll another 1. So you actually did win VIP again just now. What is going on? I'm gonna keep hitting this until it all right, that one counted. I'm gonna do it again, and if this one's banned, it'll still count. I just don't know I don't know. It's being very bizarre. Something's going on, because it just rolled a 1 again. Anyway, yeah, nothing but winners. There's no way they changed it, did they? Anyway, Ushi Thick, congratulations for VIP. Gambler's Fallacy in action? Yeah, I guess that would be Gambler's Fallacy. Are you rolling from the same seed each time? It's the random function in the scripting language. I get, like, there's... The lack of true randomness is not gonna matter in the context of picking 1 or 2. It's so bizarre. The thing is, it's got a long cooldown. Swords! I'm a computer science major. Randomized functions use the current date and time, so it's not going to have the same seed, because it's not the exact same millisecond that I ran the function last time. Brother, thank you for the prime. Appreciate the 12 months of subs. Sorry, I'm just distracted right now. I'll have to troubleshoot this, because I think it's only giving out VIP again, and I don't know why. Looking a little cozy there. Yeah, I mean it's raining in LA today. So there's an opportunity to be cozy. Yeah, it's only doing VIPs for some reason. And I really have no idea why. It used to work and now it's not. So weird. Kill it and then add it back? That doesn't make any sense in this context. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Just flip a coin? I mean, that's not as fun, is it? Plus you don't get a big old fart sound if you flip a coin. Alright, well, I'll just have to disable that as a channel reward for the time being until I can fix that. Isn't that weird? Nothing changed. It just stopped working. It stopped working exactly the way it was before. Scripting languages usually don't do that. They usually don't change from under you. But maybe there's something about the syntax that used to be right and is no longer right. Now I have to remember where that is. There we go. Okay. How strange. Yeah, it's just the most basic if-then statement, and for some reason it's just always catching. Oh right, candle. God, got distracted. Can we see the script? Fuck no, Swords Human. No! What about this interaction made it sound like I was soliciting advice? God. Are you kidding me? Engineers of the world, I implore you. I pray. It's okay to be in the room with a problem and not try to solve it. It's okay. It can just be a problem. I'm saying that to myself, too, because I do like to fix things. But the absolute last thing. Think about this, Swords Human. If you're puzzling through something, Are you just amped to have like 2 or 3 people sit over your shoulder and tell you a bunch of stuff you probably already know? Does that sound like a great way to solve a problem to you? Anyway. This is good training for me though, because I as you can tell, I get a little snippy about these things. Man. Was a hell of a journey trying to get a raid array set up live on stream. I actually updated my BIOS and I had to do it again because it like reset all of my settings and stuff. If I were that distracted by other people's input, I probably wouldn't have a job for very long. I suppose. Luckily, I get to choose in this job. I'm confident I'll figure it out. Anyway, it's lore time. Oh, let's see here. Got to do a bit of a lore catch-up. So, we're finally checking out the first. There are multiple dimensions in this game. As explained by the creation myth. What is the scent? It is hot cocoa and cream. It is delightfully holiday-ish. Make sure I'm not burning my webcam. Alright. This is not still Shadowbringers, but given that the world is literally coming to an end, in the source, which is the dimension that the game usually takes place in, we're checking in on the first and gonna see what's going on. The actual movements of the plot is we're trying to talk to Elpis, or what remains of him, to try and figure out why the world is ending. Because Elpis was around the last time this happened, and actually managed to like change it by creating a god that we just beat up. Final Fantasy rules. Oh, you beat the story a few nights ago. Nice. Yeah, it's been shockingly difficult to play this game because of all the queue issues and just like life events. You have to sort of dedicate the whole day sometimes. Oh, you just started Shadowbringers? Gotta stop paying attention, GG, to what's to go next. All right. I slaughtered your message and I apologize, but are you supposed to go snowboarding today? No. Big Bear's fun. Big Bear's fun. We only went up there once and just stayed in a cabin. I haven't gone skiing or snowboarding yet. But I see rain outside. That's why my blinds are open and the lighting is weirdly dramatic right here. I am at level 86 or so. I just got to the first, which is another dimension, to check in on stuff. And I got to this point in the story, and then I got one of those big old warnings that's like, hey, something's about to happen, so you might want to put aside some time. Oh, you have a cabin in Lake Arrowhead? Nice. Yep. I was kind of poking around, and those areas are just cram-packed with Airbnbs. Sure is cool. All those houses empty. I guess it's not the worst. Just have, like, person-to-person rental systems, but... Ah, okay. All right. They're gonna lay down a couple of more like basic formative world rules. It seems they're tinkering around with, or I guess tinkering is maybe too disruptive. They're getting pretty like molecular with their description of how this world works. They're getting like Newtonian about it. It's pretty wild. I like this elevator music. Yeah, me too. I like the bongos and that like whatever instrument that is. Tyler, careful with those spoilers now. Careful of that. I guess that wasn't really a spoiler. Yeah, third option is how about. I'm just picking Hades because Hades is the raddest. Hades has the best I don't even remember Titania. Here they are, talking about books and tea. That is that kind of game. I gotcha. Yeah, Tyler. I thought fourth would mean something, but it's a generic filler answer for any boss you liked. I like the Alexander phase that sounds like Power Man 5000. That's my favorite. I don't even know the name of it. What the heck? Is this just this weird first-person sequence where all these NPCs are chatting with you? This is the closest Final Fantasy XIV has ever gotten to Shenmue, and I love it for that. Can't decide between Shadowbringers or Heavensward being my favorite expansion for the soundtrack. I don't remember a lot of Heavensward music. That entire expansion just sort of like fell out of my brain. I don't know. It didn't super land with me, but everyone who's played the game more recently cites it as one of the better expansions. Are you taller than them in first person? That's a really good question. I should be. Maybe they're just really tiny. I imagine the Warrior of Darkness uses an axe. Ardbert. Game brave enough to unironically name a character Ardbert. Heavensward has some great music, but it's not as in your face as much as Shadowbringers and Endwalker. I do remember the town and the world themes being really solid. You're right though, it's not as in your face. It doesn't like have a shredding guitar. Which is fine. To me, Heavensward was a much more classically styled sort of fantasy expansion. So it makes sense the instrumentation wasn't as freewheeling. Maybe you're standing on something. Good point. Maybe I got a little apple crate. Can ask people to play Lucky Hit. Watch some turtles race. The world's ending and I'm just kind of chilling out here. Just like, oh, I could have a periscope. Good point. Oh yeah, Feo. Right. It is interesting how Shadowbringers and Endwalker both have a weird kind of like take your mind off stuff for a bit like side thing. In Shadowbringers it was the fairy forest. And in Endwalker it's moon bunnies. They both seem to kind of hit that same note in the narrative of like, you're probably pretty bummed out right now. Why don't we just lighten things up a little bit? I forgot to pull focus with my cam. Although I have to be honest, I think Side Bunny is probably a little more effective than these rapscallions. Go. That's cozy. Ishgard theme really made you feel like you were about to meet God himself. I guess I could see that. It's a city in the mountains. There's dragons flying around. Yeah, I can... It feels like you're in the heavens. Hey, Britt. How am I doing today? I'm doing pretty great. Talking to a pixie. I guess this is just a, like... Is this just sort of... giving you a beat to talk to all of your favorite Shadowbringers characters? It seems like that's what's going on here. Which means I hope that big woman comes around. Yeah, because her husband became the mayor of like the provincial town outside. Oh, I want to talk to them. I want to hear how they're doing. I really liked them. Check in on the crew. There was a really cool subplot in Shadowbringers where essentially there was this aristocratic family that kind of had their eyes opened. Lady Chai, is that her name? Okay. It was super heartwarming because it's like kind of proof that some people are just genuinely good people. But they can't control their circumstances. All they can do is the best that they can once they're aware of certain things. It was really nice. You don't see too many stories like that. All I see is the meme of the taller lady holding up the smaller lady. I mean, that's good too. It would shock me if you're the first person to imply that about these characters. Why did I bonk out a first person for this? Oh, whatever. Chum, thank you for the sub. Oh, Brother BD, thank you for the prime. Love to see a later X-Pack where we revisit the first and 200 years have passed. Does the Warrior of Light age? I'm sure something Aether, something revert, like... I don't know, the Warrior of Light is hardly corporeal. Or rather is not tethered to the corporeal, so... Island's dying. Time moves faster on the first canonically, but they locked the timelines in 5.0 to not have to deal with that. Remember Thancred was there for like 5 years. Yeah, I did forget about that. I always thought that time compression thing was just a way for them to dodge the Warrior of Light being gone from the source for so long. It's like, if they spent an entire expansion dealing with that bullshit, then wouldn't the source have been detonated already? So, oh no, it's time compression, it's fine. It's only like an hour back there. Xenos barely finished dinner, and you did like all of the shit in Shadowbringers or something. I know it's not that extreme, but... Ooh. I've only ever played 7, a bit of 10, 13, and 13-2. Are all the Final Fantasy games connected? No. Final Fantasy is... Think about it like an anthology. Each game is different. Different story, different world, different universe. There are some thematic consistencies. The thing is, though, the number tells you... Some of the numbers become franchises unto themselves. So all of the games that are called Final Fantasy 13, which is 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns, yes, those are in the Final Fantasy 13 universe. But all the numbered games are their own thing. If that makes sense. 7 and 7 Remake and... Like, 7 is its own franchise, too. 12 had a sequel, 4 had a sequel. So some of them get piecemeal sequels, often on different platforms, which is weird. But... 14 has had many sequels, I guess. And a reboot. 15 had DLCs? So, yeah, think about, like, each numbered Final Fantasy is essentially its own brand and its own property. Which is weird, because they're also all called Final Fantasy, but... What you gonna do? Final Fantasy games are named like the files I just used for a random project? Yeah. Just each one sort of spinning off on its own cognitive chain. It's actually a really good way to describe it. Get a new weapon? I kind of like this little nightlight looking guy. But, oh yeah, 10 and 10 too. Mm-hmm. Yarp. Oh, I got a new hat. I didn't even use this. What's wrong with me? Yeah, you know, it is a common question, but it's an understandable one. Ironwood cane. Oh my god, what's going on with this? Ugh! God, it's like a reverse beret. Jesus. With a weird little forehead shield. Oh, I got a little burb? I got a burb staff. Hello there, Mr. Burb. Are you going to bring me magical energies? Just... It makes my shape look even stupider. My head is even wider now. Steely resolve. You're headed to the umbilicus to consort with a lidibus, right? Words that mean something. Yeah, so Tyler brings up a good point. 14 is sort of not a... It's not like a Smash Brothers crossover of a bunch of Final Fantasy games, but it also kind of is. There are tons of references, both explicit and implicit, to previous Final Fantasy games in this game, ranging from, you know, literal reorchestrations of the music to more subtle references to story tropes that can be repeated between Final Fantasy games. So, but it's not, you know, you're not going to miss out on anything by missing those references. I never did the other class quests. I told myself it would be neat. Also, I got the role quests in Endwalker too for healer, but I haven't done it yet. I get to go talk to Robon. I love Robon. Grumpy little guy. He just needs a hand. But once you get to know him, he's awfully disarming. You just can't use any strong arm tactics. Nothing's worse than feeling like an extra appendage. Yes, that powerful walk. No, my knees don't bend enough. Walk. Exactly, Spider-Man. He's got the scooter stomp, the scooter swag. That's what that is. Starting a course in a couple hours. First time back in school in almost 10 years. Completely changing my career path, and it's suddenly dawning on me. Adulting is hard work. It is. And it's entirely your story now, too. You're taking the reins, Barf Step. The wild thing is that, like I'm sure you're thinking about right now, life change takes time, man. But I'm sure because of what you're doing right now, in 5 years, you're going to be in a completely different place.
Your business.
Oh, we got VO. Yes, speak out loud, Potato Man.
Acknowledged. Reinitializing Circus Tower systems. Searching for Elidibus entity.
This is like that. It's like that scene in Ripper when I had to talk to the library bot. It was very, very curt with me.
Target located in subterranean core power accumulator. Projecting image.
Yeah, he's just hanging out in a powered accumulator. We found him. Wake up!
My home. My friends. No more than a dream.
Not that voice.
You. Why have you awakened me? I no longer sense those places beyond, or Lord Zodiac. You must explain all.
Yeah, I kind of kicked him. Kind of kicked him in the stomach. Kicked Zodiac in the tummy until he fell over and died.
So, he is fallen, and my brethren's souls returned to the star.
Oh. Oh.
The doom we sacrificed so much to prevent is come again. Old burdens now yours to bear.
Yeah, so in the past, whenever the Warrior of Light would kill a primal, the Warrior of Light would actually absorb all the ether, and it would go into them, which was kind of talked about. He kind of overdosed on ether for a while there. But when you killed Zodiark, it just kind of spiraled out, like it wasn't contained. So I guess there's an overflow of ether in the source right now, or something, which is causing the calamity. That makes sense. Huh. And then yeah, it was like half their population. That ether was concentrated into that one god. When I killed it, let it all out. Like a water balloon filled with too much magic. Yeah, Tyler. It's like it's like when you plug the bathroom in the back of a 7-Eleven. You don't know what to do. So you just cram 3 rolls of toilet paper down there and you run out. You run out screaming before anyone can grab you. Just like that. We've all been there.
But if this is Fandaniel's design, then I, as Elidibus, have a duty to fulfill. Your unsolicited act has restored to me some few memories of the convocation. Such knowledge as I have, I will share.
I'm sorry. What a nice guy. Well, he's dead.
Why apologize for receiving a favor of the defeated? If it sits ill, consider it payment for freeing Lord Zodiark from servitude.
Making you think about hard times, bud.
Ah, the end. Your understanding of what caused the final days is consistent with our own. The decay first took root where the currents were weakest. Yes, a conclusion drawn by him, Fandaniel. Not the him of here and now, but as I knew him, long, long ago. Having shed light upon the phenomenon, he dedicated himself to devising a countermeasure. Were it not for his knowledge of the Celestial, we would never have made the connection, and thence forestalled the final days.
Hence.
And though he inherited that noble soul, how different this last incarnation, so consumed by self-loathing and hate. Elpis. Yes, the name is familiar to me. Yet I know it not as a flower, but a place. A testing facility for determining which of our creations were fit to be released into the world. Many worked there, and before joining the convocation and assuming the title of Fandaniel, he was their chief. He was Hermes. That is all I know.
Okay.
Crystals tell little of the lives the 14 led prior to their induction. Elpis itself would tell even less. Nary a ruin has survived.
Yeah, Magnus.
I saw you there. In Elpis.
Elidibus's voice is so smooth.
I did not. But I did. I did. a lingering trace of impossibility, and a truth that fills my heart. My memories remain clouded, I fear. However, they have revealed to me one possible course. You must travel to Elpis, to the time when Hermes served as its chief.
You get to, like, play the past? That's kind of cool.
In glimpsing the Exarch's memories, not only did I make his summoning magic mine own, I also mastered the workings of this tower, which, having absorbed my empowered essence, now harbors an abundance of energy. As such, I believe I can deliver you unto the past.
Why not?
Unto that place and that precise moment.
Cool. Okay, sure.
Given the eons that must be traversed,
Get on board the Elida bus.
they will not be fully formed. Your form will be less tangible still than those warriors of light I had summoned. In all likelihood, none will be able to see or hear you. Yet even should
Convenient.
you manage to interact with others, you will be unable to effect meaningful change. For the reality you wish to save, the reality to which you must return, exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
Back to the Future rules, guy.
Cannot unmake the sorrow and suffering fated to come.
Yeah, Elidibus seems way shorter here.
In full knowledge of this,
He seems as tall as a normal person.
still entrust your life to your foe and make the journey.
I feel like they might scale the height of other NPCs when it's only a Lalafell. Because in the past, there were some pretty amazing
Very well.
comedic shots.
I shall cast you unto the river.
Teeny tiny potatoes and really, really tall
Be
dragoons.
my final act.
I love it. I fucking love it.
You must input the commands. I no longer have the authority.
What was the form he had after his fight?
You must reconfigure the systems, that the tower's ether may be channeled.
They're usually taller though, right? Or was he a shorter tall guy? An Amaratan. He was short for an ancient. Okay. Maybe that's canon then. I want him to be taller. He wasn't adult? Oh. Damn. That's sad.
The preparations are complete. The gateway will soon open. Return at once to the ocular.
Get that admin access. Get that root. He was like 20 to 30 for a race that lives thousands of years. Oh. I didn't know he was that young.
All appears to be in order. The ether flows unimpeded.
Yeah, Marzar, the story / lore for 14 is outrageous.
Magic should consume every last mote of my essence.
The only other thing I've heard people talk about, like the way this game has executed what it's done. Hold on a second.
Did I not say that this will be my final act?
Elidibus is about to pass away. People will talk about how One Piece will have like story arcs that will reference and pay off arcs from like years ago. 14 does that. And they've been like they've been constructing and driving towards a singular narrative, which itself is composed of many smaller narratives. That, you know, has some light maybe retooling and reguidance, but really the pace at which they've introduced these like galactic level mysteries and then very directly like paid off mysteries that they've set up and gradually revealed more formative information. It's been a delight to see, and it does, I think, imply a lot of foreplanning and craft. So I'm not necessarily a scholar on 14 lore. I followed the main plot, but I, you know, have just played the expansions as they've come. But the people who do dive in really hard, Captain and Chat being one, they all vouch for it too, so that counts for something. Mallife, yeah. This is Endwalker. Indeed it is. The most recent expansion.
Lord Zodiac is no more. There is nothing for me here.
Gonna hit a massive Endwalker spoiler for a section right now, so if you're worried about that, you might want to tune out. Good morning.
The
Weep weep.
I love and long to see again are waiting in that promised land, beyond memory and dream.
She'll be back? Okay. I think what I find remarkable about 14 is not only is it intricate and well planned, but they do a really good job of reminding you of what you need to know before kind of layering information on. Despite how broad and... I mean, there's minutiae I forget, like Elpis being small. But they do a pretty good job of letting you know what you need to know to then build complexity on top of that. So it doesn't feel like you're just getting lectured.
Go and do not look back.
Rarely does it doesn't feel like anime jargon dump, which is what a lot of games like this and shows like this can feel like. They're just walloping you over the head with a bunch of like boring world rules just so they can establish the structure of why this couple can't be together, you know? They have very approachable and direct stories in addition to more complicated ones.
Hydaelyn, I take my leave of you. Yours is the mantle of the last of us. May you have the joy of it, the burden, and the solitude.
And with that powerful
It
block.
falls to you now. You and your champion to save our star.
I'm a little misty right now. You borrowed Guardians from the library because of the sponsored stream? Nice! I'm glad. That game is so great. I hope people do give it a shot. Even if it's like, even once it hits like the $30 or $20 mark. Or frickin' Public Works, my guy. That's perfect. Public library time. Get your video games for free. Oh baby, is that a crystal? Oh shit, is this 1.0? Ah. It's supposed to be way further back than that. That just kind of reminded me of the tavern in the 1.0 trailer. Ooh! He's got hair and skin. Thing is, most of the story is very straightforward, but the meat of the story is in the inter-character relationships and interactions, which has been really started in Shadowbringers before, Stormblood, before being expanded in Shadowbringers and totally paid off in Endwalker. Yeah, I agree. I have to touch the Aetheryte. I have to. Yeah, I think that's why I liked Stormblood so much, because it did have that sort of like character connectedness. It had a roster of... I mean, Heavensward did too. You had the Scions, and then you had the characters on the Ishgard side, and, like, Astidian was sort of the character to introduce, like, Hien, I guess was, in Stormblood. But Stormblood had the, like... the character connections, and the character dialogue that I really, really liked. The story for 11, just as intriguing. Not for me. Because, there were only, like, you only got, like, one story quest every 20 hours of gameplay. I only did, like, I don't think I finished any of the story quest lines, but there wasn't a lot to them. At least at launch. Some of the expansions might have done more, like, typical Final Fantasy narrative. Oh, Nomad. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, that game rules. Space Marine's fun. Alright. This is how tall the ancients are. Ooh, you gesticulate wildly. Stormblood had turtle men. Although I don't know that you can beat the gosh darn elephant people. Elephant people and bunnies, I think, are an upgrade. Turtle men and fey creatures. Satya is a new, like, fucking... a new, like, Hall of Famer. Heavensward still had Horschfont? I don't remember who that is. There's our guy. It's been so long since I played Heavensward. Uh-oh. Well, Heavensward spoilers, I guess. I'm sure it would all come back to me, Captain, but truly, I haven't played Heavensward in, like, almost a decade? When did Heavensward come out? I don't know, 2015? Okay. Maybe like 5 years. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why most of Heavensward just kind of like slipped out my brain. Maybe I just wasn't paying much attention. I don't know. I don't know. I was kind of hoping to have somebody to play through it with again, to watch the story again. Especially Heavensward. Oh, okay. There have been several flashbacks showing his broken shield. Bruce, drop it. Yeah, it doesn't do well enough on Twitch to justify spending time on it. But I'm more obstinate. If I were a good streamer, I would play this in my off time and stream games that people want to watch more, but I just want to play this, so. This is my holiday break.
Just a few odd tasks. We'll be here a while.
Ooh.
You're welcome to stay as long as you see fit, of course. As a matter of procedure, however, I must ask that you kindly remove your masks.
Come now. Is this truly necessary? Surely you can tell who we are.
Muller, am I excited for Spider-Man? I am, but it's going to take a while for me to see it.
Less infamous. Regardless, if we do not follow protocol, 'tis our hosts who would be held accountable. So, please, do favor us with your handsome face.
I might go see it on, like... Yeah, I had tickets for Thursday, but then now we're Stephanie, we're going to go on a Vegas trip, so I had to rearrange a lot of stuff. But that's always fun. Oh, there's our guy. The baby Emmett. And Lady Emmett. Or hotter dude Emmett. Emmett was always hot. What's up, Woda?
Satisfied?
Hair helps, yeah.
I thank you for your cooperation. You are free to go about your business.
Thank you for the resub. Brooding young Emmett is hotter. I agree. Yeah, he saw you. Well, he said he saw you. He said that in the last scene. He was like, wait, I saw you. No, I didn't.
By the by, you see it too, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Woda, this does... I'm not gonna lie, there are Kingdom Hearts dashes in this story.
What you're talking about?
Yeah. the way that they decouple somebody's physical body
That's odd.
with their spirit and the way that like emotions can affect reality, I think are both sort of Kingdom Heartsy tenets.
A bit thin in the ether, but there's no mistaking it. The color of its soul is almost identical to Azem's.
How long until you fight a Kingdom Hearts raid? I would prefer that doesn't happen, but I don't know. Kingdom Hearts raid with Shadowbringers? Yeah, well, yeah, the Hades fight, when you're standing in like a dais and all these light beams fire off of it.
Rather unusual for a familiar to have a soul, though.
Final Fantasy always had emotions win the day vibes way before Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, but they didn't necessarily like bend the plot in a literal way. Seven was the first Final Fantasy. Well, yeah, 7 was kind of the first Final Fantasy that got ethereal about like the souls and identity, and then 8 got way more in there. 9 dialed it all the way back, and 10 went full blast.
All I know is that it's trouble. Doubly so if it's his spitting image. So let's leave it be. Come now.
And then, like, emotions also didn't create other people. Like, there weren't whole characters that were born out of emotions. Or, like, longing. Or the splitting of a person's soul into two. And then the emptiness remained, also turned into a person. Like, there's a ton of that stuff in Kingdom Hearts. And then 14 does... It tiptoes into that a little bit.
It's trying to say something, but it's literally too intangible to form words.
Yeah, no one here's been born out of emotions. They are at least a little more literal with how, like, a person's soul and their, like, identity and being is kind of a complete unit. And that at least doesn't change, even if it does move through bodies. Now, Kingdom Hearts got into dividing souls and, like, splitting them and copying them and all that shit. That's when it starts getting a little too furry. A little too fuzzy.
Why don't you give it some ether? Spare a snifter of your bounteous reserves.
But in Kingdom Hearts' defense, Final Fantasy does have a tree that becomes alive because it's so evil. I'm trying to remember which one that is. I will say that, like, Final Fantasy enemies can be as psychedelic as you want, but the actual movements of the plot tend to be a little more grounded. Teeny tiny bit.
Take me for.
At least the ones that I like tend to be a little more grounded.
Why, a dear friend, of course. One who wouldn't let acts of kindness, such as my accompanying him on errands to far-flung outposts, go unrewarded?
X-Death, I see. Yeah, 5 was pretty anime. I haven't played 5 and... How old am I? 20 plus years, I think? I remember 5 being a funky one. Yeah, 5 is weird. I think 5 was trying to be like Dragon Quest. It was trying to be this, like...
I suggest you close your eyes, or this may be unpleasant.
It's like freewheeling anime one. Japanese 5, American 4? Japanese 5 was not American anything, for some reason. They skipped it. They released it later on PlayStation, and I think it's on mobile now. Grounded laughs in Final Fantasy Type 0.
Your eyes.
I did not care for Type 0 too much. It seemed cool, but just like, I don't know, the whole PSP era of games, I just couldn't. Oh. You made me a whole Tato. Okay. There weren't a whole lot of PSP games I actually really liked for some reason. It's like they all tried to be...
Still a touch small, don't you think?
PSP games tried to provide this full console experience, but there was always something so very portable about all those experiences, as there ought to be. I think it was just a lack of buttons, maybe? I never played a PSP game that didn't feel like it was just trying its hardest to not be on a PSP. If that makes sense. Like, it was always way too big for that console. Vita, however, was like perfect fit, which is a shame.
Is not necessarily better.
I will defer to your experience.
They actually had dialogue about me being tiny.
Without further ado then. Greetings. I am Hythlodaeus, Chief of the Bureau of the Architect.
I love it. Like, there's been specific dialogue to me being a healer, too, which is neat. We're getting cyberpunk level variability.
The most honorable Emmett Selk of the Convocation of 14.
Yay!
And how might we address you, my new friend?
Typos on Steam. Yeah, I tried playing the port that they put out on Xbox, I think, and I was just like, man, didn't catch. Mr. Marcus Phoenix do-rag. I can make a glamour plate. I think I have all the snow equipment.
A fine name. And I'm pleased to see you understand our words.
Oh, you got the white mage line. During the meetings I leveled on paladin though. I guess as long as you have... I think it just knew I had white mage leveled. Oh, that's a shame. I would hope that if you sat through that with different classes, it would give you the different dialogue.
Whence have you come? The thinness of your essence suggests you weren't created here.
The PSP Monster Hunter was fun and probably scaled. I'm glad that you had fun playing Monster Hunter on PSP. It was one of the least fun experiences of my life. I have to admit. I put playing Monster Hunter, the original, up there with trying to play League of Legends in like 2010. The game had no tutorials. I just sat down and tried to play it on my own. And there's so many things about that game that like the original Monster Hunter just doesn't tell you. And it's completely different in like setup than other games. So I remember doing the first couple of hunts and like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I would beat up this monster for like 10 minutes straight and it would just kick me and then run away. And I didn't know like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to beat the level. I didn't know what it was asking for. There's all these items. They don't tell you anything about what they... Monster Hunter's way better now. But, man. I just remember being so frustrated because, like, at the time I was like, man, people really like Monster Hunter. I can't wait to get into Monster Hunter and like it like everyone else does. And by the end of the night, I was just so frustrated and confused, and you have to keep sharpening your stupid weapon, and there's no camera lock on, and the enemies just jump behind you, and you just can't see them. That's it. That's just the game. Yeah. What I didn't realize is that Monster Hunter was for the ultra pros that, like, get together and play Monster Hunter all day together.
You do not know? Or
tell each other tips.
Say?
I wrote a bad review for it.
A different question then.
And it got a lot of very mean comments. Because I didn't know how to play it, and the game didn't tell me.
What brings you here?
Yeah, people were real pissed off that I was like, Monster Hunter is inscrutable. Which, in my defense, is still true. You put anyone down with Monster Hunter, like the first Monster Hunter on PSP, and say, go have fun. They will not. They will not go have fun. I can't wait to hear what Old Man Lar will rant about in the future. I don't know. Let's see here. If we scale it up, in 30 years, I predict... I'm gonna guess the waves of AI-generated influencers will, like, start to produce trends. And so in a given week, for some reason they'll all be blonde, because that's just what people want to see. And then the next week they'll be like, they'll all have, like, red, half-shaved hair or whatever. I'll be complaining about how predictable these trends are. Like, oh, now all the VTubers are gonna be octopus people for a week. That's just how it is. That's what I'll complain about. Diaper technology? Maybe. There better be a cyber tube up my butthole taking care of all that for me by then.
Perhaps Azim wished to come too, but had to settle for a familiar.
If I'm still physically shitting in 2060, the human race has failed. Be releasing your last video on Cyberpunk? Yeah, I'll still be getting triggered about Cyberpunk.
If he truly wished to be,
No one will even remember
then
it.
he would be.
I'll be screaming about how bad game reviewers are.
Right you are.
How could it not win Best Scorer in 2021?
If we've given offense. The two of us can discern the color of souls, you see, and yours happens to present
Can't
that of
believe
a
it.
friend.
Fucking, they gave it to a
And
remake.
with your purpose matching our own besides, we jumped to a hasty conclusion.
Nerds. Anime nerds.
We are here to speak with Hermes, the chief overseer of this facility.
What did win Best Score? Near Automata Near Replicant, excuse me.
Man's work.
The remaster of the game that already exists. They gave it to that instead of a game that had not only a full deck of like original music for the radios, but also an incredible score into itself. Nope, the remake got it.
And I should be happy to serve as yours as well,
Good moves.
by way of an apology for the misunderstanding.
They actually did record new songs. I know.
Wait. Are you suggesting that we bring it along on official business? This thing we know next to nothing about?
Ooh, Lamork. Thanks for the raid.
If you harbor suspicions, better to keep it close than leave it to its own devices.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Pick the right time for a potato raid, because there's a potato man saving the world.
Besides, having a mysterious life form in tow is the norm rather than the exception here.
There's my guy. He's covered up. Never mind. There he... Oh. Covered up by a candle. Yes. Powerful walk. Oh?
Welcome, my friends, to the testing ground of creation at Heaven's Edge. Elpis.
Neat! So this is people playing around with creation magic?
This presence.
Is that Heidelin? Or somebody that would become Heidelin?
Visitors! We have visitors!
Yeah, playing God always works out. Always. Are these axolotls, are they minions yet? I want a minion. Little minion axolotl flopping around. Did you leave the moon and rabbit people? Yes. Now I am in the deep past.
Are you hiding, I wonder?
The deep history past. When they invented a god to manage the flow of magic to prevent the earth, Aetheris, from exploding. Or shriveling like a rotten apple, I believe is the, Oh, shit, that dude's cool! Wow, he's got his... got his trench coat on and everything. This guy's decked out for Matrix. I like it. Maybe those are all like submachine guns on his back. Why is it so foggy in the cutscene? This was rad. What's this percussion happening back here? Don't play it too long. It might win a game award for best soundtrack. No, this is original music. Apparently, only music that has been written and performed before, but re-performed, can win awards. If this song, halfway through, no, excuse me, 10% of the way through, suddenly shifted into Imagine Dragons' Enemy, then it might win a game award. To be fair, Imagine Dragons is the ultimate gamer music. It is. Also, the VOD I had at the Game Awards got blocked because of that fucking performance. I didn't ask for that. I didn't want it. I wanted to listen to Bastion. But no, Riot Games paid us money for a show that definitely stands against discrimination in our industry. Whatever. Luckily, YouTube gives us now has the option to just trim it out of the video, so. They copyright blocked an ad? Yup. Yes, they did. Not even claimed. Like, I don't give a shit. Take the money. But, damn, man. You're creating work for me. When you block it. I just resent any intrusion of League of Legends into my life. I did watch a little bit of Arcane though. Stephanie was watching it mostly out of homework. It's hard to argue, it's hard to argue that it's well made, but I guess it's just so like I don't know. It's just so mechanically calculated to be an entertainment property. Like I can't look at the characters and not see the sort of scientific mathematical crafting that kind of went into the characters of Overwatch, you know? Like just crafted to be this new vision of entertainment properties. Characters that aren't there with any like real soul of their own. They're just like artfully filling gaps in a representation chart. And then you kind of slap on the coolest possible personality you can think of. It's not bad. Like that's what all entertainment is, but I just can't not see it. I don't know. I think that's just me being cynical. Not necessarily. Maybe designed by committee. Yeah, maybe. I remember watching the original music video for Jinx's unveiling, and it's also just so weird to see. Hey, it's Jinx again because people like the character design, but also she's this character now. All right. It's 100% you being cynical. I'll be fucking cynical then. Whatever. What am I missing out on? Let me put it that way. How is it a convenient story of fantasy discrimination? Anyway, truly it does go back to just having negative associations with League. I think that's all. Ooh. Use the etheric rope to capture weakened petalidae. Sure, I'm doing their homework now? Alright. Ooh. It's a snake flower bird man? I will say this. So this is a weird... This is a weird catch-22 here. This is the ultimate contradiction. I am uninterested in media that just tells, like, I'm uninterested in palatable entertainment, but also typically when it comes time to like watch a movie or something, it's usually like at the end of the day, and I don't feel like watching something hyper challenging. So then it's, you know, it just results in not doing anything. I think you're more just refusing to watch it because you don't like League, and I get that, but the show is at least pretty far removed from the game. Oh, the animation style is really cool. I'll give it that. It is nice to look at. Oh yeah, I have 2 stacks of Divine Venison now. That's cool. So now I can, like, throw down big ol' shields on people in between casts. Interested in Witcher Season 2? I am. I really like the first season. I couldn't make it through the first episode of Cowboy Bebop. I need to watch the original show to compare tone, because I think I like forgot a lot of anime stupidness that was in the original. I guess just from watching the first episode, it's weird to me that like somebody can watch that and seize upon such different aspects. Like the scene where the dude like takes drugs to kill all the people that come after them. In the original, it's all off-screen terror. But in the live action version, it's like shown from a Hardcore Henry first person kind of sequence. And like you're not meant to think it's awesome that dude is like doing crazy space drugs to try to escape with his girlfriend. You're not meant to think that's cool. But the TV show seems to. The TV show seems to think a lot of things are just cool that I don't remember being represented as cool in the original show. Oh, they showed it in first person in the anime. Really? Man, okay, then I just may not remember then. Oh, they do? Well, damn, okay, see? Look at this. Look at all the shit I'm forgetting. Did it have, like, different music during that sequence? There's something about it that just, like, I rewatched the first one, but the first episode is much better than the show. Oh, of Cowboy Bebop? Now that I remember, too. I remember the first episode for Bebop being great, and then forgetting a lot of the rest. Mushroom Samba was fun. The one of, like, the infected fridge was pretty cool. But, yeah, I remember there just being some anime in the middle. I mean, even that notwithstanding, though, I find it weird shows that never bother to like establish a likable protagonist. Or maybe what's likable for me is not likable for others, but like I don't know. By the end of the first episode, I really didn't care about any of the characters or want to hear them talk anymore. I don't know, I'm sensitive about those things, I think. Luckily, I can just walk away from all that stuff. It's nice. To let you gauge just how garbage my taste is, I basically binged with Stephanie the new season of iCarly, and it was fucking awesome. So that's where I'm at. The IRL fight scenes are super blocky despite Spike's signature flashy kicks. Yeah, the direction is not very good in the live-action Bebop. No offense. Well, maybe that is offensive. I'm sorry, but like there were some shots where I'm just like, that shot made that look way less cool than it should have. I just watched 8 hours of a YouTube guy reviewing all of iCarly. I never watched the original. But, man, they like scaled up what they joke about. I thought it was like a Disney show, which maybe it was, but isn't it a reunion show? It's a season. It's a season that takes place in like modern time with all the picking up from what I presume are a lot of the characters. Oh, it was Nickelodeon. Oh, okay. Yeah. They kind of pick up after they kind of fill in the story of all the characters, and it's like it's Carly rebooting her online show basically. In modern day. Ooh. Wait, do I get all these? I do! It's just a remake of a series that people basically all agreed was basically perfect, and in a format that can't at all capture the essence of the original. How could it possibly have been worse than the original? Oh, you mean Bebop? It's again off of deep memory. I associate Bebop with like solemn sadness, and all of that was kind of stripped out of the Netflix show. So maybe they just had a high level talk, and they were like, "Look, depressing Blade Runner science fiction doesn't move. What does are like madcap romps. So turn it into that." Okay. Like focus on those. Ooh, this artwork though. Yeah. There's confusion between Bebop and iCarly. iCarly good. I'll say it again. PJ, thanks for the sub. Good morning to you too. Maybe I should like spend a month where I force myself to not prejudge things. It's kind of impossible, but I don't know. In the past, if I've ever like reacted to something, then I force myself to do it just out of spite. That's why I've seen so many musicals, and I guess it did make me dislike musicals less. You know, exposure therapy. Oh, I don't have sound or oh wait, hold on. You don't have sound or video. Let me right back to you. The older brother was the best part of iCarly for me. Well, he's back and he's amazing. He does a lot of physical comedy. Yeah, Spencer. Spencer's rich as fuck. I don't want to spoil why. It's pretty fucking funny what he does now for money. But yeah, that actor is so good. Like, has just great yells, great screams. Reminds me of Bruce. Like, Bruce just has funny as shit screams. He can yell and I'll just hit the floor. So fucking funny. But yeah, same energy there. Spencer definitely bought crypto. Something like that. They're pretty on point with some of the modern humor too. I've been waiting for like sitcoms to sort of catch up and be able to riff on shit. There's a lot of good roasting of internet culture in the new iCarly because she like does an online show, so it's pretty germane. But yeah, just solid sitcom stuff. And kind of that's the stuff I want to angle on. I find what I gravitate towards at the end of the night. When my energies, my intellectual energies are spent from hard gaming all day. Yeah, okay. Those are all for... Hold on. I gotta... Oh my god, I forgot to unpause. You guys missed some lore on YouTube, I'm sorry. Because I looked up an iCarly... Wait, I don't remember what I looked up. Whatever. Don't worry, I'm here to save this abystoma. It's okay, I just did a lot of rambling about nothing. He definitely whispers the mic. Mics pick him up and boost it, yeah. So I'll have to like get way up on the mic. Fast and the Furious 10 has been delayed to May 2023. So Vin can do more weird begging for The Rock to come back? And bring back the box office returns with him? How did Vin Diesel and John Cena never fight? I don't get it. John Cena did nothing. He did nothing that whole movie. He just stood there and scowled. Disappointing. I guess the car magnet was neat. Family. It's like this weird mixture of air and gravel. Did he do nothing? Or did you just not see him? Perhaps I didn't see him. I don't understand why they cast nobody as Dominic Toretto's brother. Boom, boom, boom. Weird choice. Cast no one. Oh, Dom doesn't even have a brother? It's all in Dom's head. That's why we couldn't see him. Finally, unreliable narration comes to the Fast and Furious saga. Do you guys remember... Do you remember in Fast 9 when they were kind of trying to canonize plot armor? That was almost cool. When they were like, wait, we can't die? And then at the end they were like, no, we can. Family. Like, I was actually almost on board with them making, like, family a superpower. Because that's where the script was going. It's like, if you're part of the family, you got plot armor. And the characters themselves were kind of waking up to being in a movie. Which I'm like, okay, that's a weird play. The fourth wall play, but, like, what's left? And then they just completely backed off of it. Just completely backed off. They were like, you know what? That's not a thing anymore. Let's all be happy for the end of the movie. And I was like, what? At least, like, stick to your guns, man. Speaking of guns, Jesus Christ, the Han reveal was so fucking stupid. The shot of, like, the pushing camera thing with the light dent. We already know who it is! You put him in the trailer! It's weird to me. Maybe that wasn't the plan. Maybe it was supposed to be a giant reveal. I don't know. Also, Justin Lin has done way better work. I'm confused. Fast 9 really confused me. I'm like... I'm okay with this being stupid, but it's also just not well directed at some points. Which is not... Like, this director has done better. And John Cena wasn't there. And I don't get why. They said he'd be in the movie, but I didn't see him. Hearing Angry Lawrence sends me back to 2012. Oh, I can attune to this one, though. Oh, maybe I can attune to the other one now that I'm a person. Oh, wait, no, there's not an eighth right there. Never mind. We all knew Han was alive years ago because Tokyo Drift took place years after the Fast franchise. Well, not necessarily. It takes place in between 6 and 7, I think. There's a scene in a Fast and Furious where Vin is hanging out with Kentucky Kid. Except Kentucky Kid is, like, still technically a high school graduate, but is now, like, in real world years 15 years older, and he already looked like in his mid-30s in Tokyo Drift. Now that shit is funny. Like, just playing that off without even an acknowledgement. That's what I like about, or liked about the Fast and Furious movies, is that they were kind of in on the joke with you, which is what I thought they were doing in 9 when they were trying to canonize plot armor and family power. And then they just were like, nah.
This appears to be the place.
We're going to be cowards. For me, the series should have ended after 7. I agree. 7 was the last, like, really solid good one that kind of understood its own tone. 8 was like... 8 was fun and had some dumbass stunts that were at least fun to watch. 9 was just like, didn't have anything. Hobbs and Shaw was fun, but, you know, hardly a Fast and Furious movie. Let's see here. 9 had Tarzan swinging on a rope bridge in a car. Except, like, that was the end of the scene. Swung over, landed, they were like, wow! And then it just, like, cut to the next scene. So they went from that side to that side, and they were still stranded on a mountain. Well, just, you know, whatever. They drove down there. You have to have, like, some kind of narrative follow-through that connects that to the next scene. Otherwise it, like, the stunt doesn't matter. There had to be a reason they had to do that.
And here is where we part ways.
3 was the last real Fast and Furious movie.
We will be discussing highly sensitive affairs. Only a select few may be privy to such knowledge, and that does not include someone who cannot or will not divulge their origins.
Ooh. I thought Fast and Furious 4 had some of those tenets. Now, that was when they were trying to make it a thing, right? That was when they were sizing it up into a franchise. And that movie's a little too self-serious for my taste, but it also introduces a lot of the melodrama and continuity. So I like it for that. But yeah, I think the whole, like, Like the whole Point Break vibe of people who live fast and die young, and these are their stories. Certainly Tokyo Drift was the last one that focused on that. Oh my god, it's like raining sheets outside. This is so fucking sick. It's like blowing real hard. Sorry, I'm freaking out right now. Welcome to LA. This is what people do here. Salacious Dummy, thanks for the Prime. Last Prime sub before my Prime ends. Guess I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's like actual Texas rain. Steph is off her call, so I'm just gonna switch to ambient audio, so I get to hear these sprinklies.
What? Will I have to remove you by force?
God, that smile. That damned smile. Actually, I gotta step away for a second. I have to use the restroom. These sprinklies are getting to me! Oh. Put that on. What are you doing? Oh, wait, that's right. I need to do that. Okay, maybe if I do this. I don't know how the scripting language. Oh, it's auto hotkey. Did that mystery person win or not? Hard to say. No, whatever. My weird little script. Still being weird. Yeah. It fired because it was on and it's set to replay every time it becomes visible, but my randomization function isn't.
Let's hear them then. These reasons of yours. Who knows? If I deem your mysterious cause worthy, I may even be inclined to offer my assistance.
I also struggle with being around things that I could fix. It just keeps roiling in the back of my head.
I do not object to his attendance.
All right.
Hermes, this is highly irregular.
Perhaps, but I believe he can be trusted. Meteon would not have taken to him so quickly otherwise. Moreover, the presence of a third party may help me to maintain composure.
Did John Cena roll VIP or ban? I mean, we'll never know, will we? If I get
As you wish, then.
1,000 subs, I will ban John Cena from this stream.
Behave yourself. Do you hear?
That's a promise. Yeah, Lantern Lord. Emmett Selk is a real son of a bitch when you first meet him, but he has one of the best, like,
It's finally happened, then.
empathy sort of journeys.
Aye. Van Daniels declared his intention to step down and named you as his preferred successor.
One of those, like, person just trying to do what they thought was right.
In recognition of your knowledge and your works, the convocation is giving the recommendation due consideration. As one who does not know you personally, I am to use my impartial eye to take your measure. And
Oh, see you, Barf Step.
to ascertain
Enjoy your class.
his
Good luck.
position towards the invitation. I understand that you and Fandaniel are close. He himself was once chief overseer of Elpis, after all. I should not be surprised if you knew before anyone else that he wished to relinquish his office.
I did. He told me that when he fulfilled his purpose, he wished to pass the torch to me.
A torch you seem none too pleased to accept. Are you so averse to serving on the convocation?
No, it's not that. For a humble researcher like myself to even be considered is an honor beyond words. No. What troubles me, what I struggle to come to terms with, is the very fact that Fan Daniel is stepping down. Does this not mean that he will return to the star?
Of his own volition, yes, like so many others have before him.
Return to the star? Does that mean die?
Well now, that's not a word I hear often. Is that what you say here in Elpis? Mankind is the life of Aetheris. Each of us, a drop of blood flowing through its veins, bearing sustenance. In our finite time upon it, 'tis our duty to make it a better place, that all who call it home, now and in future, may abide in happiness. To that end, we have dedicated ourselves to the pursuit of enlightened creation. And by our efforts did we transform this once untamed wilderness into the peaceful paradise you enjoy today.
Hithlodius is pretty smoking, huh?
To return to the star whence we came is a privilege afforded to we who have so loved and nurtured it.
Imagine a lot of...
A choice embraced by those who have lived their lives to the fullest, in service to our world.
Crush on Emmett Zelk over.
And when they
Hithlodius is my
depart
only
upon
boy
this
toy.
journey, it is beautiful, always.
Very kind face, like
The
striking
fortunate
eyes.
are no exception. 'Tis believed no occasion is more felicitous than the fulfillment of one's duty. Our office becomes our lives, and to retire is to return, or so the majority of us hold. Some few have elected to eschew custom. Mayhap you feel Fandaniel's deeds do not warrant his return. Yet you should know his accomplishments as well as any. During his time, he conceived of countless outstanding concepts. And channeling the wealth of experience he attained here in Elpis, he brought forth many new specimens.
I know of all this. I do. It's just, I cannot fathom why someone so great and wise, who could still do so much good, would want to end it all.
Tyler, that's an interesting theory. Hold on a minute.
Oh no. I've made her upset.
Oh boy. Does she react to feelings? Tyler says Flow was the spell Ishtola used to return to the live stream before we pulled her and company out. I think its original purpose and the reason it's forbidden is it's the old spell for returning to the star, which essentially makes it a literal suicide spell. Well, so how does that interact with how they're separating sort of souls and then life or ether? Because returning to the star, does that mean that like your ether returns to the planet, but then your, can't remember the word they used for it, the elephant people, that where does that go? Is that all? Akasha, thank you very much. Does that also go into the live stream? That just means you become Aether and enter the etheric sea. Okay, so your personality, your individuality dissolves. It like is undone. Scatters. Maybe it's like, yeah, it scatters and loses form, and then that stuff is reformed into other souls. So you can have bits of other people's soul in you, and you, when you scatter, you go into a lot of other people on a very like deep spiritual level kind of thing. Yeah, it's a little Kingdom Heartsy. That's me. I don't know if those are the rules, and in all likelihood, they haven't even explained them to me in that detail yet. I'm just spinning yarns. The core of your soul may remain or dissolve. That's I think what's confusing to me is it different things happen at that point, lore-wise, and I think they just haven't super nailed down. Yeah, you can come back, right? So like, it's not necessarily suicide. It's like going to the beach in Death Stranding. It's like this weird purgatory where your soul can potentially still exist, but then you can kind of cross over and be undone. If it persists, it can reincarnate, but it will lose the memories, barring exceptions. Yeah, that's right. They talked about that too, the ink blotting thing. How memories can get overridden with ether, but then can also be recovered later.
Forgive me.
Because they're inscribed on your soul.
Might I trouble you to take Meteon outside? A change of scenery would do her good.
Gotta take off, gotta do some adulting. Alright. Thanks for watching. I have a stack of adulting to do. I have some Christmas gifts to wrap. I have a lot of freebies to give away to viewers. I gotta ship them. I was stalling because I wanted to recycle packing products, but I haven't been getting a whole lot of like bubble wrap and air bubbles and stuff. Ooh, Father Stroke, looking good. My man's looks like he's about to get in a rumble. About to toss it up with some other like Psycho Billy gang. And streaming tomorrow? No, actually. So, Steph had reserved a room in Vegas for us, going on a little Vegas trip. So taking a cheeky little holiday trip. The next time I'm streaming after today, it'll probably be Friday evening, unless I destroy myself in Vegas too terribly. We'll see. And then after that, Sunday. This is essentially me taking a bit of a holiday break. And that starts tomorrow. Although I still have to write Inside Games and to get that recorded. Sounds like fun. Give me that lore. All about that lore. I feel like I want a different place for this, but it's pretty handy there from a gameplay perspective. Yay, Medeon is following me. What's a good word? Okay. Dinner time? Alright, sourdough. Well, thank you for watching. Have a good meal. She's supposed to be a bird person. Why are the wings on her head? Because bird heads are a lot bigger than you think. All wings are actually attached to bird heads. It's just that on a bird, the head is very long and is typically what most people call the body, but most people are wrong. The body is actually at the very, very end. It's a little nodule. That's the body of the bird. That's where all the vital organs are stored. I'm an ornithologist. Whoa, that dude's twirling! Yes, my guy. That is a free spirit, and he's going nuts in the fountain. Dabbled in bird law, can confirm what he said. Thank you very much, Casey. It's good to have backup for once. Crystarium. Oh, Dibblesworth is also an expert in bird law. And it's good to have so many modern intellectuals in chat. Can't stop saying nodule now. It's a very fun word. It doesn't... It has just a whole je ne sais quoi that you can't really recreate in a whole lot of other words. Ampule is kind of close, but is also equally fun to say. Not a whole lot of pules. P-Y-U-L. Pule. My hands look small. Oh, they look normal sized. Nodule. 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 Vestibule. Yeah, that's a really good one. Vestibule. Look at this guy with his little puffy boys. I love Spriggans. They're so cute. They love their rocks. Look at them. I like how they have their main rock and then a little snack rock for later. Pretty sure I have one of these guys as a minion. Oh yeah, somebody was asking about Bruce, my minion shark. I have the frog wizard today. He specializes in frog magic, as you can see. Maybe I should... Let me swap around my minions here. I think they always spawn behind you for some reason. Oh yeah, wind up Palom. That's a throwback. Not... Oh, I guess it's kind of cute. There you go. Wind up Mistel. Little crystal arm? That's kind of cute too. Okay, that's neat. Nutkin. Little squirrel guy. I like that I get this nice low camera angle. I think he like runs around with it at some point. Yeah, Dr. Worm, I do have the Major General. There we go. That's usually my friend, but I'm mixing it up. Oh! Okay, that was close. Don't drop your nut, Nutkin. Plus, it's not No Nut November anymore, so everything's fine. Yeah, the Major General is just too goddamn cute. Uh-oh. It's gonna eat my minion. Destroy Dick December. Yeah. This is what ibuprofen is for, fellas. Nutkin's minion info is the funniest thing ever. Okay. I will go look at it. Is she trying to read the Shoebill's mind or something? This is a very dramatic moment. I gave it people eyes. I got a ferret from one of the dungeons that climbs up on my shoulder. Hard to change minions now. Yeah, I really want a minion that rests on my shoulder. There's a koala that can climb up and just sit on your shoulder. It's so cute. It's Emmett's familiar. Observing Elpis. Let's see here. Full of ether, she can't read it. A lot of nerds on Reddit misinterpret this scene. That is a depth of 14 I have yet to go, is to see people bickering about the meaning of particular scenes. No thoughts, head shoe. Huh. Whoa. You're converting my emotions into words and intention, a process performed subconsciously by intelligent life forms. I always thought about that. If you could communicate in emotion, how would you process it? If you could hear an emotion, like you could hear, differences in sound pressure. We automatically convert that into words and meaning in our heads, courtesy language. certainly feels like you would develop a similar sense when it came to communicating emotion. Especially if you get much like speech, you learn how to project with nuance and subtlety. You can like, I use that exact phrase again. Ah, universal translation. Ah, okay. Okay, so like speaking is her second language. That's why she talks that way. I thought she was just being anime cute, but I'm glad that they have a reason for it. Yeah, her dialogue as written through her emotional communication is like hecka proper Final Fantasy Shakespearean English. Ooh, your thoughts are more complex. Prismatic. That's a way of saying crystal. You're just like so smart, and your thoughts are really like complicated. And it clicks over. He's like wearing his like here comes a special boy hat. Like it's like got two lights blinking on either side. Hello, my name is Clouderoth. Sign like duct taped to the front of his shirt. I love my guy. Yeah. If found, please call the Scions. They're probably looking for me. You know what? I'm good at playing. I'm good at gaming. That's as close as it gets to gaming. So, Clouderoth's a gamer. Very judgmental look. Just got into anime. I've seen One Punch, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, and now starting One Piece. Are there any just watched you guys can recommend? I mean, I'm tiptoeing through Mobile Suit Gundam, the original show. If you like old campy stuff, pretty good. It has moments of melodrama too. It has a couple of like really, really good art splashes of just like the scale of space, which is neat. But it is old. It's old. Might be boring. I don't know. I was pretty into like the first 3/4 of Beastars season 1. And then it became a dumb show. I started watching season 2, and they basically just threw out. They like they've given themselves permission to sort of like completely redo characters, the main character specifically. And I don't know. I'm not into where it's going. It seemed like it was kind of driving to a really interesting parable for human experiences, but then it wasn't. Then it just kind of like pivoted back into being a never-ending, meaningless melodrama. Yeah, don't listen to She Thick though. So here's the thing: there are anime that are so bad that people. It's like getting goat seed in the early days, or tub girled, and getting meat spinned. There are dangers. There are dangers down the anime way. What show am I talking about? Me? Was Beastars. Ah, Median can't eat. Gotta tell her about gaming. What's Boku no Pico? It's just extremely inappropriate. It's basically like an entire show that's like joking about pedophilia in anime. And it's, you know, by most people's accountings, it's far too close to the mark. It's like, it's way too comfortable, like having fun with that idea. I think if you wanted to, and you wanted to be creepy about it, you could try to say it's satire, but it's one of those where, like, the idea that somebody unironically likes it is too uncomfortable to process. But then again, I got a lot of that stuff out of other shows too. Like, there were shows like No Game, No Life, and that's an old one, but like there was stuff in the pilot where I was like, you guys know what you're doing and it's gross. And I can't. No thanks. Don't need that. Don't need any of that. Iceman 400. Oh, 400. Thank you for the... Wait a minute. 26 months. Woo. That is indeed almost 30 months. Almost there. If you were after a nice, wholesome, light anime, I'd recommend Elfen Lied. Something uplifting and light. Actually, unironically in that regard, if you can... Unfortunately, I don't think it's easy to find, but... Nichijou is one of my, like, favorite shows. And as long as you have any taste for absurdist humor, it usually, like, it at minimum is pleasant to watch, and at maximum is, like, actually genuinely funny. Cromartie High is another very absurdist comedy that I think is a lot easier to watch these days. Cromartie High I'd recommend. Daily Lives of High School Boys is a really, really just goofy, fun comedy. Kind of mix of, like, slice of life plus comedic situation plus awkward absurdist kind of comedy. But it's hard to... Like, those are shows that are just, like, really palatable because they're funny and universal and they kind of have fun with universal situations. Fairy Tail is a fun anime. I haven't started that one. Welcome to the NHK it's kind of intense. It starts off goofy, but it ends up being I would say a fairly more interesting look at like mental dysfunction, at anxiety, social anxiety, and I don't want to say broken people because I don't like that phrase, but like I guess people who feel broken kind of finding each other and how complicated navigating that relationship can be. What's crazy is, like, NHK felt like it was leaning into a fantasy at the beginning. Like, there's a nerd who just has an anime girl that just likes him for no reason. But it ends up having just so much more dimension. That was one of the shows that I watched where I was actually surprised and interested in where it went, versus it swerving so far away from its original concept it didn't even feel like the same show anymore. It actually felt like it flowed pretty well, and even though it ended up somewhere different than where it began, those through lines actually made sense from a human perspective. Feels rare. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Ah, yeah. I need to watch Brotherhood. I need to make time for that. It's just like, again, when I sit down, I just don't think of what to watch. Also, Steph is not as anime tolerant. I used to watch anime while I would lift weights, which meant it had to be dubbed, but it was a good way to catch up on stuff. And then, you know, anime's good for that stuff because when they decide to spend budget, it's pretty obvious. Like when there's a fight scene, you just sort of drop your weights and watch the anime fights, and then it goes back to people talking with their mouths covered, and then you can then it's a radio drama. Pretty good, like TikTok, really. Damn, Captain with a lot of good recs there. Dang, okay. That's a pretty solid, like, hit list for the last, what, 20, 30 years? Can you even find Hajime no Ippo? Is there a way to watch that? I'd say, like, if you like Rocky, or if you like kind of sports underdog stories, yeah, Hajime no Ippo is absolutely dope. It can drag a teeny bit sometimes. There's some like extended lead up to boxing match sequences, but the boxing matches themselves are hot fire. You still have old VHS tapes. Damn, I didn't know they ever... Did you, like, just record it, or is that a bootleg or something? Oh, wait, is it on a service now? Boy, that would be great. Woo! That's another one of those, like, it kind of almost has the same setup Or it has the same kind of feeling of Naruto, where like the first episode is gonna hook most people just because it's a really solid underdog story. Ooh. My hat does not match at all. Sad. Sad. They were bootlegged from a dodgy store in my hometown in the early 2000s. Wow. Because it started coming out on DVD in like the mid 2000s, I think. I bought them all just to support the show, but I don't know where those DVDs went. I genuinely don't know. I think I sold them at some point when I needed money. Trying to break into games journalism is not a money-earning endeavor, I'll say that. Luckily, I invested in a 22 DVD set, or whatever. Oh my god, I didn't know he climbed on my head! Actually, straight up did not know that. Now everyone has to respect me. Why are you all laughing? I'm the leader here. Oh my god, his little feet. Feet are poking out. Don't see a lot of Outlaw Star recommends. That era of anime was by far my favorite. Some excellent standalones like Irira, Zerum Animation, or Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, etc., etc. Megazone 23 is another classic. Man, it's a lot of name drops. Oh, he stays up there. Oh, this is just great. This is phenomenal. Yeah, this is good stuff. This is good stuff right here. Why is your character so small? 'Cause I'm a potato man. He's the hero of the universe. And he is tiny. I wonder how long this guy stays up there. Hopefully forever. You'd like Megazone 23 if you haven't seen it. 4 cyberpunk anime movies. That sounds cool. No, I haven't seen it. It's possible I've seen clips of it and stuff. But... soul manifests only in those beings whose forms adhere to the laws of creation that can endure on their own. Oh yeah, Great Teacher Onizuka is a good watch. It was sort of like... what is it? Stand and Deliver, or Dangerous Minds. Teacher saves kids through being real and sharing real life advice. It's an anime of a teacher flipping the chair around and sitting in it backwards and rapping with you. But I mean, it works, right? They're just heartwarming stories. Not for mankind to decide what is living. That domain lies beyond our manipulation, and it is hubris to assume otherwise. Huh. Yeah, it's real. Enough of this academia. We need some street knowledge. I didn't finish Assassination Classroom. I watched the first episode, though. I remember it having high energy. Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei is fun. That's kind of, sort of the opposite. It's a teacher who absurdly, through clinical depression, suicidal depression, manages to reach those kids. I feel like Zetsubo Sensei is like peak self-deprecating millennial lol, I'm depressed all the time sort of energy. Oh yeah, now Paranoia Agent is legit good when you want to like... Paranoia Agent is almost like Twilight Zone level. Super good story about like people's anxieties and sort of dark nature manifesting in the real world. It's a fun sort of thought experiment show. Oh yeah, I need to look at the description of my squirrel friend. Inspired by the words of Millith Ironheart, this daring squirrel longs to travel the realm in search of the legendary golden acorn, and hopes that trailing in your shadow will ensure that he isn't eaten before he discovers the mother lode. Well, my friend, we're gonna find that golden acorn, you and I. I gotta save the galaxy first, though. Because then all the acorns will be gone. Sunny Boy is a great recent anime, really dense philosophy and sci-fi concepts in each episode. Well, you're describing what I like. I've been watching Star Trek the original series again. It's fun because it's like you can tell that it was sort of like playing with thoughts and concepts that audiences just weren't used to. But because of that, it is awfully timid. Like it just kind of plays with an idea and then just drops it on the ground. Which is not bad, you know, it's not, there's something charming about that. They're like, oh, what if this? And then all of a sudden it's just the exterior shot of the Enterprise credits. I'm just into it for like the acting is great, the like props and makeup. Just all A+. Absolute A+. It really is the power of just human imagination on screen. So much like, you know, with the medium at the time, they didn't expect anyone to see it in the crisp, clear quality that you can now. But it's just great to see like, it's like props, just some guy's hand, like, what's this alien? Somebody's hand. We got into the Adonis episode yet. So I've seen it before, but I haven't gotten back to it. No, I'm just like 10 episodes or whatever into season 1. So I saw Mudd, which was great. Harvey Mudd or whatever his name was. That's always a fun one. Oh, the next one is where they have the like mind control machine underground. I think that has some Prime Kirk screaming in it. I've been trying to get Steph into it. The fact that it's on at all in the room is an improvement. Let me put it this way, like, Steph is awesome and cool. So that already kind of puts her out of the realm of like anime and Star Trek, right? But she also has been in the games industry for a long time. So she's not only kind of just not been into that whole scene, but she's been around developers who are into that scene, and it didn't necessarily also leave the greatest aftertaste. So she has associations with all that stuff too that is not so positive. We mentioned Space Dandy yet? No, and to my great shame, I'm only just now watching Space Dandy. It's really fucking good. There was just something about the like first half of the first episode that rubbed me the wrong way. It was just so childish, and I get that that's like the tone of the show is just fun, but it was just so much into just like boobies. I'm just like, oh god. I get it. Animes have titties in them. I don't know why. I was just like, God, can we just move past this? Which is sad because like in the part B of the show, it's this total animation explosion that's so beautiful. But for some reason, like way back in the day when it first came out, I was like, here we go, Space Dandy. Love all these guys. Let's see this. I just got like to the first commercial break and I was like, man, what is going on? This is insufferable. And I was like, I'll come back to this later, and I just didn't. What is Space Dandy? It's a show about a dandy guy in the space. Dandy man in the space. I think it's also, too, the dub is just really good. It feels like that's one show where I think the dub is more important than the sub, because there's a lot of comedic subtlety to how they deliver dialogue, and the way that they do that also, I think, tees up the tone of the show way better. Like, to me, when I was watching it in dubbed English, I was way more on board with the tone of the show and where they were going with it than when I watched it subbed back in the day. just because of some ways they describe things. And the narrator like really sets up the tone of the show really well. And I got a lot more of that delivery out of English than I did in Japanese, just because I was just reading the words. Like, I thought it was a 50-50 shot that was an intentionally silly phrase.
Amazing.
Dandy boy in the space.
The Ampelos.
Or if it was intentional, but, like, I thought it may have just been a translation quirk. Yeah, Booba's just episode 1 hook. And anime is notorious for that. It's something that I've learned, is that you really, really, really can't judge a show based on how fanservice-y its first episode or first 2 episodes are. Usually, that's where all the tropes and garbage are. And then after that, at like episode 4, it tries to start being the show it wants to be. After it kind of tricked you. It's just like, sometimes it's laborious to sit through the things that anime fans want in service of the show it actually wants to
How are we
become.
coming along?
Oh yeah, no, Excel Saga is rad. You do, if you want to get all the references, you do have to watch a pretty long list of homework. I haven't though, and I still liked Excel Saga. But there are parts where you're just like, eh. I imagine a lot of those references are hella dated now too. Can't look at a Gabu without remembering 1.x times. Think my mind is scarred by the Great Gabu Wall. Ooh, tell me of the Great Gabu Wall. What happened?
This place is Elpis. Those flowers. Elpis.
Yeah, Food Wars did have some clothes explosions. Need to go back and finish watching Keijo. I love that Keijo made fanservice part of its universe.
Like me.
And there's something about the lens of Keijo where there can be a giant ass flying into your face, but it's almost like you're like, oh, this is the ultimate ass attack. What's gonna happen?
They're a product of Elpis, and so named for their birthplace.
It's the triple tit slammer. Is she gonna recover from this? Like, that's kind of more what you're into. There's something about weaponizing those body parts that
A happy accident. born
changes
at
the
hands
framing.
of
I
a
don't know. Something.
researcher who loved beautiful blossoms.
It's delightful. It's delightful. But I didn't watch the whole season, so I don't know.
Unique for how they change color to reflect the emotional state of those nearby.
Let's see here. At the end of times of 1.x, the devs are basically bombarding the cities with high-ass level mobs. The world was ending after all, so we all got on our Gabu mounts to form a defensive line. Oh, okay. So it's just like a spontaneous meme to react to what the hell was going on.
Though be it here or elsewhere, they are seldom seen in any hue save purest white.
Are there any other shows like Keijo that give the same vibes? That's tough. I mean, if you want to flip the genders, I think Yuri on Ice is kind of that, but different. In terms of how much non-guilty pleasure it takes in what it offers. When you get away from that, though, it starts to get a little like creepy. There are of course shows packed to the brim with fan service, but I don't think they're necessarily as like they just feel scummier for some reason.
Reflect the emotional state, you say? By what means do they achieve this?
I mean, there's the magical gif of like the titties wiggling and the bullet like flying between them. That's from High School of the Dead, I think.
In creation, there exists an energy wholly apart from ether, one driven by emotions.
High School of the Dead is probably like peak, as far as I've seen, peak shameless fan service. It just mixes it with gore and violence a little too much to
Like
unironically enjoy, or not unironically, but
subject to the influence of said energy.
to enjoy without feeling dirty, I guess. Something grimy about that shit, but for me,
Well, it has no will of its own. It is sensitive to the prevailing emotion in the vicinity, and reacts by altering its color and vibrancy.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
God, my stupid clown suit. Oh, and so, yeah, I haven't seen interspecies reviewers yet.
Though I'm not familiar with the term, your description suggests it is the self-same energy.
I've seen screenshots though of vaginal barbecue. I do need to watch it.
Dynamis, we call it.
I have a pledge to myself that I will. Well, no, there's limits. Never mind, there's limits. I think. Like, at what point does it just become porn?
Like
I feel like Seiken no Quasar is probably the raunchiest,
this energy, converting emotions into tangible
fetish-laden show that just still somehow doesn't go to full-on penetration.
Our Antelekis.
That's me! That's me! An Enteleki!
Got a new word. Write it down. Interspecies reviewers is the best way to find new fetishes. Worth exploring that and be like, oh, that works, okay. I read the manga of it and it wasn't really lewd, but really the horny made the world building in it actually better. I hate saying that because it makes me seem like a pervert. No, it's... Nah. It's okay. Like, it only makes sense. That would be like having, like, food wars without anyone eating. I think it's fine.
That you are, my dear. And no ordinary one at that. But the first, possessed of free will.
I don't know that it's like, if you just extrapolate the weird morality from it, well, I guess one involves consent and the other one is food, but like it's okay to get hungry when you're watching Food Wars.
Wait. A form of energy other than ether? Dynamis?
We have these physical lives and there's
never heard of such
nothing wrong with indulging in moderation. Oh, I watched it exclusively because some network dropped it, so I got interested in why it was dropped. Ah. Turns out it's because it was basically just hentai. I see. I mean, hentai can have stories.
Hardly surprising. Dynamis cannot be seen, much less felt.
There were a couple of manga, hentai manga I read, where like, you know, mostly because I was on dial-up, and it was easier to download JPEGs than it was to download either animation or video. So, and you know, just absolutely blowing my young conservative Christian mind. Jesus, when you've never seen a boob and you graduate right to anime titty, damn, that's a rush. Holy cow, never had your brain just rocked as hard as that. But it's funny because, you know, one particular evening I would read one volume and I'd be like, interesting, and then I'd just be like, well, you know, there's more from the same artist, it's the next volume, so I'll just read that the next evening. And then like by the end of the week I was like, holy shit, I care about these characters now. Like there were a couple of stories that like started with just like basic wham bam thank you ma'am sexual escapades in various porno situations, but then the characters like interacted with each other more. Like one wanted sex too often and it became a weird problem in the relationship, and they would still fuck, but like the temperature started to change and like their relationship like kind of grew around that. And I was like, what the hell's happening? I got tricked. I'm like I'm bought into the emotional subtext of this fucking now. But man, yeah, it's cool. And I was like, and also again as a young conservative being like, this can be art too, was just like oh, Kite and Mezzoforte, yeah. Those can show up in like hentai compilations, but they have like full stories that are not necessarily the most uplifting. But they are good and sometimes haunting movies unto themselves. Anyway, cookie for the Lalafell. Well, thank you, Snack Pack. When I get out of this cutscene, I will eat a cookie in-game. Which I think I need to cook lunch at some point.
What's more, Dynamis is far weaker than ether. Under normal circumstances, its effects are drowned out by the latter, on account of which, beings comprised of and reliant upon the ether, like you and I, are unable to make practical use of Dynamis.
Okay.
'Tis a truly esoteric thing, known to but a select few scholars.
I'm not familiar with that, Captain.
Intriguing. Then, given the limitations you described, why create Meteon?
Our star, Aetheris, is especially rich in ether, so much so that its name is derived from it.
Oh.
However, when we consider all energy in existence here and in the vast space beyond, Dynamis may account for as much as 68.3%.
Repeating, of course.
The more abundant form by far. Were we able to control it, we could open the door to limitless possibilities. 'Tis not unlike a gently flowing stream, unable to break through the dam of ether barring its path. But if we could imbue the stream with the vigor of a raging river... Not that I have such grand ambitions.
That is Anakin moment.
Nay. I merely wish to create a being that could traverse the great expanse. The relative scarcity of ether beyond the bounds of this star was a concern. And so, I looked to another source of energy by necessity.
That being Dynamis. No wonder her ether is so thin.
Precisely.
Oh, and that's why she can communicate with emotions?
Thing too. Like an Entelechy. Like me.
Is the player character a...
Are we the same?
Wait.
Entelecchies.
Are they like canonizing the fact that he's a silent protagonist? That, or in my case he, but the Warrior of Light is essentially like a one-dimensional stand-in for you, the player? Is it going to get to where like you have to like project your hope into the TV screen to help out your Warrior of Light because he's you and connected with you? After Shadowbringers, I could see them doing something like that. Don't tell me if I'm remotely right. I'm just talking out loud. The flower turned the color of the limit break bar in Thavnair. I never really thought about the color of the bar. I guess you're right. Dude, I have been known to transcend my limits with nothing but determination. Filled with determination. Look at that smirk.
That sounds more akin to the desperate flailings of a wild beast when facing imminent death.
There's our Emmett. There's our guy.
A deficit of ether alone does not an Entelechy make. It would, however, make it easier for you to interact with Dynamis. And limited though its influence may be, this quality could prove the difference between victory and defeat. You do well not to underestimate it.
Yeah, they were talking about limit breaks earlier. Like they're canonizing limit break. They did hint at that earlier, talking about Akasha.
Oh dear. I'd forgotten about the poor fellow. You must excuse me a moment while I go and verify a few more things.
Entelechy is a philosophical term that basically means the realization of potential. I did not know it was an existing word. Thank you. Are they really going to break the fourth wall? Probably not literally. I imagine they would allude to some kind of unknown presence that's channeling energy through you. That's my theory. And it's just in the ether. I'm not like asking questions. Limit break and brilliant conviction. Breaking limits like only a true warrior of light could. Brilliant conviction? Like the little like cross chew on the Gabu. Nom, nom. Oh, the buff and solo instances. Oh. This all sounds like the dialogue from a quest that would raise your level cap. Well, it already has been raised. Sometimes there are good chuckle-worthy splash arts. I have to admit, I pushed back on it for so long. I guess because in the back of my head, I insisted to myself this was a PC game. But scaling up the UI has been a delight. That artwork is so much more visible, and this text is so much more readable. Yeah, it's a good selfie. And yeah, somebody said, my character with the gaping mouth. Aww. I love that that's Potato's reaction to nearly everything. That robotic, aww. The canon explanation for limit break is that the Hildebrand's parents had to learn how to break the human limit because he wouldn't wake up in the morning. So they taught the Warrior of Light. Oh, that's the quest? It's a joke, but they did do that in the Hildy quest line. Ah, okay. Have they said if there's going to be more Hildebrand stuff in Endwalker? Yeah, tough guy. Oh, they said Hildy will return. I guess that's true. Don't they say that at the end of all of them, so. But like in this expansion? Sailor Rumham, thank you for the prime. Okay, no clues as to when. Okay. That's fine. How was the queue today? I logged in around 11 a.m. and I think I ended up logging in around like 1:30. So, I mean, the queue was essentially was a little bit shorter than it was the day before. The problem is the day before on Monday, once my time was up, I got a disconnection error, and then when I tried again, which is to say now-ish, the line was like 4,000 deep, so that just wasn't going to happen. I played through Space Marine. Space Marine! So much screaming. Stabbing orcs in the top of the brain. I like this guy. Fresh bedding? Yeah. You like kicking around and flopping around? Hello, Menandros. Where might I go? What monuments to man's ingenuity might I see? Had I only the time to spare. Tell me about it, brother. Every time I'm playing a video game, that's the sum total of all video games minus one that I'm not playing. And that hurts. That hurts me deep inside. Again, I have to become some kind of fourth-dimensional video game playing AI. Upload my consciousness to a quantum computer so that I can simultaneously play all video games at once. That's where I belong. Conquering everything in the video game realm. And then also just shave off one instance of me to watch The Matrix on loop, I guess. Oh, it's a tiny hippo. I like that there's an animal with no hard edges that still somehow can kill a motherfucker. You basically want the Oasis? You're right. Mark Zuckerberg was right all along. This is now an NFT minting channel. All these boys out here. Can you sell an NFT of a human? I should just Google this. Like, when you mint an NFT, do you just write in the box what it is, and it can be any concept that you can put words to? The Charybdis. Pretty fun word. The metaverse will be a libertarian capitalist hellscape. The Oasis had the image of an open place of freedom and expression. Well, yeah, but if there are 0 rules, then freedom and expression does happen and it's good, though. It's rules that make things bad. Whereas if I get to do whatever I want whenever I want to do it, utopia happens. Don't you get it? Gosh, you really should watch a couple of YouTube videos on NFTs. It sounds like you don't understand the technology at all. I don't think you understand how rich I will get. Maybe you don't understand how much money I'm going to make. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This guy doesn't understand that I'm going to be a billionaire in like a month. Thank you, Metaverse. And we're not good with these? These aren't good? You know what I've decided? I need to do an end-of-year scrub. I haven't, like, wiped down all the surfaces in my, like, work corner. That means I gotta pull out all of these shelves and stuff and unplug everything. But I need to do it. I need to dedicate a day. A scrub down day. Take all the keys off my keyboard. Scrub this old girl down. You can create NFTs that link to other NFTs, claim ownership over the claim to ownership. Well, yeah, but that's not the same as ownership. That's just ownership of ownership. And everyone knows it because it's in the ledger. It's in the ledger for all time and distributed, so everyone knows it. Everyone knows you don't really have it. You just have the have it. You just have the it that has it. That's it. Everyone knows it. So really, the technology is fine. Stream the cleaning crumbs off your desk. I don't really have many crumbs here. It's just like dust. And I feel like I can smell it sometimes. Like that kind of weird, sickly, sweet smell, just a teeny tiny bit. Sometimes dust kind of smells like that when it kicks up too much. Any Warhammer today? Nah. Just anime people mumbling at each other. Gamer juices. Yeah. It's like in a kitchen how oil, like a film of oil just settles everywhere when you like saute stuff. It's like that, but when I'm gaming, you know, the cloud radiates out and it just settles on everything. I hear a lot of people talk about removing keycaps. How do they come off? You don't just pull, do you? Yes, you do, actually. You do just pull them. Unless it's a slimline keyboard. Because you can still pull those too, but they typically have like a little metal bar that holds them in place. But if it's like a full keyboard with full keycaps, yeah, you just pull it up. If it's like a newer switch-based keyboard, the switch might come out with it. But those usually just like, you just plug them in, like a light bulb or something. So you could sell an NFT as an NFT, meaning you own all NFT. Yeah, I mean, somebody probably already did, right? Yeah, Christian, I do use the GMMK. The Glorious PC group, right? Is it called Glorious PC Race? I don't think it is. Anyway, Glorious PC brand. Oh, it's right here. Hold on. Yeah, it says Glorious PC Gaming Race on my mouse. So, I got one of their mice at QuakeCon for free. #ad a while ago, and I've just basically been into their peripherals ever since. The only slight issue is that for some reason their wireless mouse just like drops inputs for me like crazy. So I have a wireless mouse, but I use it as a wired mouse. And it actually works out because the wireless dongle is in my stream PC. So I can just unplug it and then mouse on my stream PC and plug it back in. And it all worked out in the end. I think what the discourse around NFTs is weird because one side is saying it's stupid as hell and the other side is saying like we don't care. It's like two people saying different things. I guess there is a group of people who are utterly emotionally convinced that it is the future of ownership. But yeah, right, Umbra? That's how a lot of things are. I don't know. People get really mad at, or some people have gotten really upset with me for not violently disowning NFTs as an idea. But it just seems so much like it's just the next thing. The next thing that people get weirdly divided, well, not weirdly, people get divided about. Were people convinced that blockchain technology was just going to fade away? Oh, I have to ask him a favor. I have to say it in words. I have a favor to ask. Ooh, I didn't say it right. I have to, a capital I. Oop, I misspelled it. Ooh, that didn't work either. Oh, I'm not targeting the right guy. How are you in a cutscene getting hit? Aren't quantum computers going to make blockchains obsolete? If you massively reduce the processing power required to maintain the blockchain, then the economy, like generating crypto for processing blocks, that exchange will probably have to shift. Yeah. I guess processing blocks won't be as in demand, and thus not as valuable to the system if it can happen for free nearly instantly. And that's, I guess, the wild theoretical possibility of quantum computing. But we still live in a world of logistics, I guess. And it's... I guess there have been strides made in quantum computing. I don't know how many of them are practical. I think the collapse of the world as we know it will make blockchain obsolete when it resets all technology back to the pre-industrial revolution era. It's hard for me to imagine that happening. But potentially. I don't know. Maybe that'll age like milk. And if that's the case, I'll be busy trying to scrounge up enough watch batteries to power an Xbox for a couple of hours. That's how I'm going to spend the apocalypse. Okay, I ran right past the story objective. Preparations for the scheme that is clearly not a scheme complete. Clearly not a scheme. Pretty far from functional commercial quantum computing. I work in quantum simulation and information. The theory and language is there, but the hardware is lagging. It's hard to keep clean, coherent systems for a long time. Yeah, I would figure. Yeah, electricity is a lot more predictable than quantum physics. But what I figure, this is just a high-level presumption, but I almost feel like you will have to train big data AI to recognize the patterns spit out by quantum computing. So you have a quantum PC compute a data set 100 times, and then an AI looks at those results and picks the right one, you know? Based on, like, probability. I feel like you could probably get to functional status with that. And then you just set up, like, error handling for the weirdness of it. And that writes off, like, the entire problem, but I just did it, so whatever. Even with functioning quantum computing, there are plenty of hashing algorithms that don't benefit from the speed up that you get from qubit logic. The random X hashing algorithm, for example, cannot be optimized for qubit logic. It's going to take like there will be an entirely new class of people who are geniuses at different kinds of computational logic. Oh god, you have to beg him? That's great. Please, Emmett Silk. Please. You have to type out his name.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emet-Selch. Please teach her to fly.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Ah, Isaac.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, Hithlo. You bring up a good point. I always look at the older generation and go, how the fuck did you fall behind tech so fast? But this quantum stuff makes me realize it's bound to happen to me. Honestly, I think blockchain, crypto, and NFT is where a lot of my generation is falling off. That's fine. Everyone has a life and they get to choose when to not keep up with the new thing. I don't think it's a like positive character trait to remain abreast of tech trends like I used to. But certainly it's like, this is it, man. This is how it happens. There's always going to be something that's just a bit too far from what you're used to, that seems so dumb and meaningless, that a whole other crew of people are like, no, we get it. This is the future. I'm not saying that it is. It could fade away. You know, it's a scam, whatever. It disappears overnight. Regardless, though, the lack of even willingness to entertain the idea, just the utter resentment of it, is like, okay, I can see my peers. The next thing that happens that has a blockchain in it, and people are gonna like turn away from it just because of that, they're gonna miss out on that too. And it's like it's just gonna go on from there. So this is where a lot of people are like, no, that's stupid, and I will never change my mind about that. And yeah, it's just like I always told myself, I'm gonna try to mark when it happens. And I think this is it. I feel comfortable putting a flag in the ground. But then, you know, that's life.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
I hope it goes away. I think it's dumb as hell.
Please, Emet-Selch. Please.
I think the only slight benefit is that financial bros with too much money are throwing it at artists who have long not made any.
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I thank you to remember this favor and let it be the last.
I have followed some artists that have experimented in new kinds of media creation because of NFTs. Now, granted, they're doing it to earn money, but they've never had that opportunity before. There is like an editor I follow who, she was like,
I will aid it once it has taken to the air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
She was doing like deck-to-deck VHS shit and like fucking with the machines to produce some really interesting visuals, pointing a camcorder at that at a CRT, and then putting like editing filters on top of that to just create these really trippy and surreal visuals. And then she was minting like, you know, 10-second clips of that like visual art as NFT. And potentially making some money off of it, but that artist never really got anything and made some cool stuff that I was a pretty big fan of before. So
Well,
I would like that person to be able to make rent and buy a nice meal, just because of their other creations that I have seen and enjoyed. Neat idea, but there's no reason for a blockchain to be involved in that. I agree. That's the gimmick that gets the money out of people, though. I think there were always 3 generations. The oldest generation made the tech for the middle gen then improves the tech and makes it for the youngest gen. The oldest gen doesn't understand that new tech. Oh, when it gets one twist beyond? Yeah. And everyone shifts up in a generation and it continues like a relay race of life and innovation. I think in retrospect, you can draw very neat technical lines. It's hard to tell when you're in the middle of it, but I don't think that blockchain tech is as revolutionary as the internet. I think certainly that was a generational divide. And in that regard, yeah, the oldies now, even if they use the internet, are certainly not very savvy to it. Hey, Steph.
Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was, on the strength of my ability to see ether. But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Worse even, quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating ether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so.
A lot of NFT artists just fuck ugly anyway. Yeah, but you can own it and then sell it later to someone else? You're in a club.
What
you have a
good
stupid
is
little
the
monkey with
ability
a
to perceive
cyber
problem
pipe.
if one cannot act to address it? Emmett Selk has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree.
Who are these people? Ancients that subverted the last calamity that befell the world. They were on the precipice of apocalypse and managed to stave it off by creating a god. So to figure out how to prevent that from happening in my current time, I've warped back to gain information, to learn from how they did
There is
it.
a mage more powerful, I do not know of them.
This is like ancient utopian times when people gained such an understanding of magical flow that they were able to manipulate
Thus
it into
did I
creating
recommend him for the office in my stead.
whatever they wanted.
And I wasn't the only one. Far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over, to whom he had previously lent a helping hand.
Yeah, they prevented the disaster of NFTs in their own timeline, so we're going to learn. How did you do it?
Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault.
Just had disturbing thoughts. I mean, you can mint NFTs for explicit material, right? I was thinking about how to destroy the
He
blockchain.
deserved every bit of acclaim he received.
What if you...
Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a mutual friend.
I guess no information in the blockchain can be illegal unto itself. You can't, like, add illegal media to the chain. You can just add... Yeah, Tyler. It's bound to have... Somebody's bound to have tried it already. But apparently there is a governing body that does decide if things can be minted
in the
and
business
stuff.
of others. Where he walks, excitement is certain to follow. His antics irritate Emmett Selk to no end.
Something?
But much of his grumbling stems
Okay.
from genuine concern.
I know a streamer who sold an NFT that was just a video of his shitty toilet. Cool. How much did he get for
When
it?
our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents.
Excuse me.
And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him.
Well, grand. Gee. There are truly just people with money. Just got it.
They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world.
The way the minting works means there is no governing body that can stop you from permanently adding something if you're willing to deal with a transaction fee involved. Really? Well, then who do you pay the money to?
And when they have fulfilled...
These are the same questions I've asked before. I just need to Google it.
So too shall I have fulfilled mine. And together we may return to the star.
Yeah, Isaac, I know you can relist
Spilling my innermost secrets.
images and stuff, but it's not the original.
To help it with you.
It's the one with a blue pixel. It's not the original.
I can only assume it is...
You can zoom in and see that it's a fake.
I just don't understand how
The ledger says so.
and yet so different.
I mean, what I would just like find one pixel and change the shade a little bit. Like, you don't have to make it blue. Just make it like 1 hex different. Like just one little shade on the color wheel. Deep. That's it.
Well done, my pet. Well done!
I mean, visually it would be imperceptible, but computers know all. The hash would be different. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't even have to add a blue pixel. Like, what is there anything that prevents you from minting the exact same file twice? Does it, like, take a hash of the file properties?
Yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on. Why don't you go and signal to Emmett Selk? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
Or I'm gonna guess it's asset plus, you know, globally unique identifier together hashed. So it's just like you can tell which one was first, basically. It can be the same asset, but the NFT, the first NFT, is always going to be the first NFT. Okay, nothing stopping you from reminting. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, it includes the prior block hash. Oh, okay, okay. So if you mint it again, you have another NFT, but it's very obviously linked, or it can be looked up as being minted before. As long as there's a difference in the comment associated with the asset. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, from my perspective, it is challenging to say no to revenue that could go somewhere and do something. So when I think about it, I immediately think of Inside Games, of like minting the first script, the first episode, whatever, and then just putting that money back into the company. Using that to make more episodes, to hire more people. Well, not hire. Probably can't afford to do that. But to bring on more contractors and stuff. Just gotta burn down, what, like 100 square acres of the Amazon rainforest to do it? That's a tough call. Just need to do more research, I guess. Scallion, thank you for the sub. If I can, what's the burden of proof? I wonder if, like, let me see here, because I have a lot of my old writing. Let's see here. Here's a lot of my old machinima stuff. I think all my scripts were in Google, which I think I did a dump of. Oh, no, wait. Here we go. I have some random Inside Gaming daily scripts. That's when they weren't really scripts. They started off as bullet points. And then turned into... Yeah, like you can kind of see the transformation. As like subheads that then turned into paragraphs. That then kind of... Like it just kind of naturally... This is a cool picture. 2014. Oh, baby. Anyway, look at all these NFTs. This is a gold mine right here. Oh, that's right. I had to put random stuff at the top because the prompter would scroll off the top of the screen. Picture of T-Bone. This, yeah, was this laptop Lauren's time? I think also this was when they were shooting like one-shot episodes because they wanted more uploads. Ooh, untitled document. That's got to be a good one. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Risky click. Yeah, this is when we did the drinking game for Minecraft. And I put that picture there because I printed it out. And hung it on like the monitor and stuff. Yeah, Minecraft was hard to make a drinking game for. But I wanted them to stare at that while they were getting drunk. So that it would slowly drive them insane. Anyway, uncounted NFTs. I'm sitting on $3 million. in fake cyber money. I don't know. For anyone honestly that's like spiteful about NFTs, I wonder if you could say, hey, if you could take work that you were underpaid for and get some derivative value out of it years on. Like if you could go to a website, click a couple of times and get a few grand. You really telling me you wouldn't do that? I mean, some people probably know. I still haven't. It's hard not to think about it though. My friend just got into NFTs and now he's beyond insufferable. All he does is talk about them. Ugh, Sailor, I'm sorry. I know that it's becoming some people's entire personalities. It's just got that, I don't know, I guess it's got that spice of feeling like you're living in the future. You're ahead of the curve. If it didn't burn down 5 acres of forest every time it's minted, then yeah, I would. Yeah. I need to read up on it. Try and get as close as I can to like a trusted source of info. One thing I don't quite understand is why it's so many orders of magnitude more, apparently more of a power draw to run the NFT blockchain than it is any other crypto. I guess all other cryptos are also terrible for the environment, but like people bring up the environmental impact specifically about NFTs, and I don't know why NFTs are so bad or so much worse than other blockchains. NFTs specifically benefit nobody? While still wasting the energy? You could argue the same for crypto, right? That doesn't even have an art associated with it. It's just purely turning electricity into speculative ideas. Same for crypto. See that? Yeah, that's the environmental fury directed at NFTs is confusing for me. I mean, there were people calling out crypto for being a massive waste of electricity. Hear about Ubisoft getting into NFTs? Every game company's going to do it eventually, I think, unless it just goes away. But there's too much investment capital in it. At best, it'll be like 3D TVs or whatever. Like, everybody thinks it's the next thing, so there's a lot of money thrown into it, and then when it's very much not the next thing, it just kind of quietly goes away. But we're in that phase of a lot of money getting thrown around now, just in case. It's one of those, like, it's worth dabbling, because to get a toehold in on the ground floor is probably going to be very profitable. And that doesn't mean it's a good idea at any point in the line. It's just like, if enough people go along with it, then that's just all that matters. That's where the money is. The just-in-case money is sort of a sign that shit is fucked in regular asset classes. That's a good point, too. Yeah. Just like in Endwalker, everybody's trying to get off this planet. So, I guess people are tying their money up in more ethereal realms. A quick Google search showed this. Link me up. Oh, here we go. NFT transactions also involve minting, bidding, selling, and transferring a digital token. All of these actions are costly, adding up to an average of 369 kilowatts, over 10 times as much energy. One researcher calculated that a certain artist selling 2 pieces of artwork used over 175 megawatts, creating the greenhouse gas emissions of 21 years of a U.S. household's electricity use. That is one researcher in one estimation, but that's certainly quite alarming. It still boggles the mind, though. It just... Unless... Are there, like... I guess this might be the case. Are there bots that are just, like, spamming out millions and millions of auction bids against each other all the time? That's the only thing I can think of that would lead to a runaway problem requiring that much. Okay. Okay. So people write AI that just flood the NFT marketplace with a bunch of dummy bids. And then the AIs were fighting each other, just like, just generating a ton of noise. It doesn't matter. And like, it's like a scale on a scale, so you can also deploy unlimited bots. So it's only in that way I could see there being just so much dummy traffic. I mean, that's the sort of thing that regulation would deal with, but no, regulation is bad. I guess once an asset is sold, like, why keep every bid on the ledger? But whatever, they know what they're doing, I guess. Oh no, my pants. Those pants aren't better? Or unless... inventory. I'm full of pants. I have some pants I can sell. Hooray, new pants. You can't even see them. You have to keep every bid to ensure the entire process was valid since you're distributing everything for validation. Yeah, but you can distribute the validation. Like, the system can look at the entire transaction and be like, that's valid. And then replace all of that transaction with one sale from seller to buyer. And be like, that's certified. And then since the same body is certifying all the transactions, the same body can certify just the beginning and end. Unless it is hashing. Like, you actually have to have all the fucking hashes match. And you can't rehash anything. You can't edit the prior blocks. That's a good point. Fuck, you're right. It's forever. I wonder how much of it, too, is it just really rubs people's brains that they might be able to achieve immortality. Yeah, you're right. Maybe if we kept a parallel blockchain, but at that point you've doubled the load for keeping logs. Yeah. I guess maybe a parallel blockchain, but one chain for normal people. No, you can't do that. Like, you'd have to have somebody decide who's a human and who's a bot. And that would be against the libertarian utopia. I like how all of these ideas can work as long as there's unlimited free labor and unlimited resources. Like, every utopian dream or every libertarian dream seems based on that. Have computers do it. So what if we're generating a ton of extra work? We have unlimited resources. And computers do it for free. You just have to pay the electric company. Yeah, well. Are we still trying to make NFTs not a scam? No, I'm just puzzling through it, and thank God there are a lot of patient people in chat who are willing to field my questions. You can do the entire validation process in a separate layer and submit it in batches to lower the environmental impact, but I know only like 10% of what that actually means. Yeah, and at that point, when you're adding complexity to the system, you're only increasing points of failure, and you're moving away from the divine simplicity of the beautiful, beautiful blockchain. Next topic, please. Yeah, I feel like I basically run its course. That'll conclude today's nary a fucking thought NFT segment. Wouldn't fund a token. Another one, huh? Wait a minute. Spec Ops The Line. I'm gonna mint my Spec Ops The Line review. Coming. I think I played one match of Spec Ops The Line multiplayer. If you want to click off your brain and shoot some guys, Spec Ops is not for you. That's okay though. Gamers looking for that can find it in, well, almost every other game ever made. Spec Ops is unique in its intelligent treatment of adult themes. If you want a different take on the war game, I can't recommend Spec Ops enough. So brave and so right. Never has a game journalist been so correct. See, she thick. I didn't mind the shooting in Spec Ops. I thought the shooting was just fine. But other people reacted a little more harshly to it. Like, oh, that gameplay. You shoot heads. Yeah, Nomad. Spec Ops is the one with the white phosphorus scene. So courageous. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you. You're right. I am. It's Hellblade with guns. Yeah. Unreliable narrator. I've never pogged so hard as when the narrator was unreliable. Wait, do I still have my Hotline Miami review? Starts with an H. Looks like not. Maybe that's in that might be in. I have this like bulk downloaded Google Doc file that I haven't tried re-uploading anywhere yet. I'm dusting on my hard drive. What's up, Hizokyo? Dropping by today. I wish I didn't have to work tomorrow. Good night. Good night. Night to you. Spec Ops is dope. I agree with that. Why do people keep talking about Spec Ops? It's a one-off game. Why is it making such a massive waves in my life? It's the engine that's running the Matrix? Why are multiple people bringing it up? It's one of those cult classics. Oh, thinking of playing through Chrono Cross? Yeah, I've been very slowly chipping away at it. I would like to, if for no other reason. I never actually got, like, a good ending in that game. So... Come along, Charmion. No. Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross. Did not get a good ending in Chrono Cross. Spec Ops definitely does not have good endings. Should do a 24-hour stream and just finishing games you left in the dark. It's too many. I could probably finish 1, maybe 2 games in that amount of time. Also, people wouldn't sub for that, I don't think. I gotta find a good stream gimmick that's gonna go the distance. Still have my paperback strategy guide for Chrono Cross so that I never miss a character. Is there a functional reason to get everyone in, like, does that unlock a new ending or something? More Hacker's Novel? Yeah? And that's on deck for the next one. I might have to reread the prologue, though. What's the secret to being able to connect on this game? I've been trying for 3 days. Bad timing. Yeah, Jatsy, it may just be bad timing. You may be trying to log in when everybody else is, or worse, shortly after everyone else, so you're deep in the queue. I mean, I'm lucky because I get to log in the middle of the day. Got that streamer advantage. But there have been entire days I just haven't been able to play because it like errored out at the wrong time. I got booted to the back of the queue. And then by the time I waited again, like I either have to go do something, I have to work, or... Well, I mean, to some degree this is work, but I've got other stuff. Social obligations, what have you? So I empathize. Just play another game while waiting for this game? I have done that. Why is there such a long queue? Spacebar go brrr. I can't say for sure. I am not acutely aware of how 14 handles its login processes. I do know that they run their own data centers, so like when they have to build up their own infrastructure instead of using like Amazon's. But it's tempting to think that since computers are electronic, that they are exempt from logistics. But it takes time to handle people trying to log into the game and authenticating each individual player as like a trusted client, and like checking their account status, making sure that like verifying what kind of content they have when they try to log in. It takes time. That's all database lookups and matching. So whenever one person logs in, it does consume a finite amount of resources of processing and stuff like that. So to accurately process everyone who's making login requests for the game, if it goes beyond what servers can process in a given amount of time, people have to wait. Oh, they had a 1-year lead time on getting some new hardware. Yeah, and the game rose in popularity at an unexpected rate in the middle of that time. Like this last year, it really kind of had a groundswell of players. So it's a messy world. The game got more popular than they were expecting. It's one of those like good, quote unquote, good problems to have. No hero, thanks for the sub. Yeah, the lines have been more stable, so getting in line and then going and doing some other stuff and coming back to check on it every so often has worked for me. But yeah, it does require having something else in the back of your mind to do. They put the test servers live to lessen congestion. I've never heard of that happening before. Yeah, it's like the only thing you can do, really. Convert your test equipment into production equipment. Little shrug. Go away. No! I'm curious about this. Ah. Oh yeah, you're splitting. I didn't think about that. I guess maybe a lot of people got into the game over quarantine. It seemed like it was really 2021 when the game had a bit of a glow up. Which is to say, people finally caught the excitement. People finally caught the wave. Anime wave. It's pronounced anime. Anime? Maybe for a year I should be anime guy. I should always say it like that, and I should correct anyone that says it around me. Furthermore, I should try to bait people into saying it wrong so that I can correct them. I think I should maybe I should wear those shoes and walk around the block for a year or two. Oh, Morgie, no. VIP reward is gone because it's broken. It's only giving out VIPs now, and I don't know why. So I know why it happened before. I didn't bind the keys right, but now they're bound right. It's just the randomization isn't hitting, so I get to experiment with that. It shouldn't be too hard. I just have to figure out how to echo out whatever the variable is giving me. That'll be easy. Alright, I have to use the restroom. How many people got away with that? I want to say maybe 5 before I started thinking it was weird. But it's fine. It's fine. That's the chaos of life, baby. Sometimes things work out. Okay, I'm gonna step away for a second. Use the restroom. Actually, wait. Yeah, when you interrupt stingers, it gets weird. I actually haven't eaten in a long time. It's 5 o'clock here. I'm gonna make food. So I'm gonna step away for a bit and cook something. It's probably gonna have like a lot of vegetables and fiber in it. I'm trying to be healthy so that I can be ripped, so that I can get 1 billion subs. It's all part of the plan. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break. 30, 45 minutes, something like that. I always decide how long it's gonna take, and then I decide what I'm gonna cook, so sometimes I'm a little off. But, that's the plan, so I'll be back in a bit.